Welcome everybody, my name is François Letarte and this is my channel JDRD30, channel about tabletop role-playing games. Today, character creation for Advanced Fighting Fantasy, the role-playing game. So, this video will be about character creation into that game, a game published by Arion Games, written by Graham Bottley, and based on the work by Steve Jackson and Livingstone. My first video of this series was about the quick start rules, so the link will be below if you want to check that, and also the link for the old playlist. So today we will get through some of the each step that is suggested in the book to create a character. I won't go into much details, but I will tell some tips and things to look upon when you have this book and you want to create a character. Some things to not forget. And if you don't know the game and want to know more about it, you'll know roughly how it's done. So, first step is to choose a concept. The first step for creating a hero is to choose a concept. Advanced Fighting Fantasy is a classless system, meaning it's not like Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder, where you have a class that are already you already know what they are about. Here you choose absolutely, you can do anything. Well, anything that you can create any hero that you would want to live into an adventure into this world, this gaming world, into a fantasy world. Anything that comes through your mind. And if you want to do some spellcaster, well, there are some schools of magic to choose, or if you want to do some kind of a priest, well, there are divine powers that will be available for your priest, but any concept is almost accepted here. Some examples they have in the book: a Knight of Salamonis, Black Sand Pirate, Samurai from Hachiman, Strong Arm Mercenary, Highwayman, a student from the magic school in the forest of Yore. These are some examples. Well, we will create a character, and the character will be based on a special guest we have today. So I will show it to you. Yes, it's Jenny Green, the RogueDM herself, if you know her. She has a vlog on YouTube, and I will put the link below. And she was kind enough to let me use this photo to make a character with it. Well, in fact, when she posted that photo last year, when I saw it, I asked her if I could do that, because it was an inspiring photo. I think it deserves to have a character for it. So I thought of a concept for Jenny. She will be called, well, Jenny. She will be called Jen of the Green Hill. Now it's the name of the character. And she grew up in a village near Salamonis. Her father was the tavern owner, who brewed a very popular beer. Well, she was quite curious and friend with some soldiers, so she learned to use a sword and add some adventure or misadventures with that. So she learned to defend herself, and also there was a witch in the village, so she learned some minor magic. And now she wants to get on her own in to make some adventures, because she wants to explore the world. That is a simple concept with a little background around it. So we have chosen the concept. Next step will be to choose, well, to put numbers into her characteristics. In Advanced Fighting Fantasy, there are 4 basic characteristics. There is skill, stamina, luck, and magic. So, skill. What is skill? Skill is a very general, it's a very broad number. I think the way to the definition of it could be how good you are to do your stuff. It doesn't have a direct relation with how strong or intelligent is your character. This will be more determined with the special skills or talent you will choose, or even the background you have chosen. But the skill is a mix of all he is in order to perform stuff. And it may be seen as how confident your character is or how experienced he is. It's quite an abstract number. But to make a comparison with Dungeons and Dragons, something I have found out, it's my point of view about that, but in Dungeons and Dragons you have levels that goes up. Levels aren't related to attributes like strength, intelligence, dexterity, all the list. But your level, when it goes up, you're just better at everything. So it may be seen like that. You know, a normal person will have between 5 or 6 in his skill. Stamina, it's your hit point, vitality, fatigue, health. A normal person will have between 7 or 8 stamina. Just to scale things a little bit, I could say that a sword will usually do 3 points of damage. So you can do the math here to know how many times someone can be hit before he hurts. When it gets to 0, you're badly wounded, and if you go 2 down into the negative, you are very badly wounded. Luck, well, it's how lucky you are. It may be used as a saving throw if we make a comparison to Dungeons and Dragons. It may be used instead of skill if you're going to perform a skill, an action that is too difficult. You may elect to use luck instead. Luck is a special characteristic because only heroes have that, and maybe major villains, but no NPCs or monsters has a luck score. Magic is how powerful you are to cast magic, how good you are. And what is special with magic is that if it is higher than your skill score, magic will be used for knowledge skill instead of skill, because, well, they pretend that when you have a high magic score, it's because you are intelligent, you have studied more in your life, you have it's used for knowledge skills. So, beginning character, a beginning character will not be exactly like what it is in the game books. In the game books, you roll your character randomly, and you can have a skill as high as 12 and stamina as high as 24. In a role-playing game, it's not like that. It's a point-based system, and your beginning character will have between 4 and 7 skill, 8 and 16 in stamina, 8 and 11 in luck, and between 0 and 7 in magic. So we have a certain number of points to put into that. And well, I will tell you what I've put into Jen characteristics. So she will have 6 in her skill, 10 in her stamina, 10 in her luck, and 3 in her magic. So that's what the characteristic of Jen will be to begin with. When you put points into stamina, it counts as double. So if you have put 2 points into your stamina, you add 4 stamina points. Okay, so that was for the characteristics. In the book, there's a way to make it random if you want the game book feel, but basically it's point based. So, next step, choosing a race. In the character creation, in the hero creation chapter, there are 3 races that are presented: human, elf, and dwarves. Each of them has some kind of a bonus for a characteristic and other stuff that comes with it. Jen will be a human, so she has a bonus in her luck. So her luck was 10, now it's 11. And these are the rays that they suggest. There are other possibilities. I will talk about it by the end of the video. And next step, special skills. Special skills. Each race come with a list of special skills they have automatically related to what the race is. So you have to put points of that list into your character sheet. Usually you receive 1 point in some special skills from your race, except your speech that will have automatically 4 points. By the way, when you put points into special skills, when you have at least 1 point, you have a basic training into it, and when you reach 4, you are a master. That's the way they scale things. After that, you have a number of special skill slots that you will choose into the special skill list. Some of these slots have 2 points in it, and some other slots have 1 point in it. You can choose only one special skill per slot. You can't add them together. So you can't take a 2 point slot to add them with a 1 point slot to have a better special skill. Beginning characters here have a number of 2 point slot and a certain number of 1 point slot, and they choose different skill for each of them. But they can add them to the special skill that came with the race. So Jen has, she being human, for example, she has religion lore as a basic special skill for being human. So she could take, if she wanted, one of her special skill slot and add them to religion lore. Okay, Jen, I've chose her some skills. I've just brainstormed what she could have. Swords, armor. You have a skill for wearing armor in this game. Dodge, climb, ride. Awareness, sneaking. Etiquette. Because she in the tavern, she used to work there, so she knows how to talk to noble persons. Crafting, beer, why not? She crafted beer with her father. And magic, minor. So that is the special skills I have chosen for her. Now we have to choose a talent. Talents in Advanced Fighting Fantasy may be compared a little like feats in Dungeons & Dragons 3rd and 4th edition, but you don't have as much as you only choose one talent here. Talent is something special that your character do. Some edge he has. It can be talents about melee combat, range combat, magic casting, social skill. And for Jen, I chose her a talent called Lucky. This talent enables her to re-roll one luck roll per day. If she fails a luck check, she may just re-roll it. And I felt it fits the character. She's very lucky with a smile like that. So that maybe it's the edge I wanted to give to Jen. So she's a lucky adventurer. Next and last step, finishing your character. In the book, they present a social class scale. So you check out what your adventurer is doing in life, and you have a number associated with it. It may be used, I think, in some social skills. I say I think because personally I don't use it very much. You may be a king in a country, but in the next country you're maybe just a petty thief. It depends on where you are in the world, so the social scale will move. In my opinion, may move too much if you travel a lot. And we have a list of equipment. The list is suggested here. It's like having some gold pieces, a weapon related with what weapon skill you have chose, a leather armor, a lantern, a backpack, a provision, and one of the famous magical potion, like a stamina potion, magic potion, or luck potion, exactly like in the fighting fantasy game books. We also have some spells to choose for Jen, since she has some magic minor. In her case, we'll choose 6 spells, and she has. We have to calculate the magic points also. The magic points is the magic score plus I think the special skill, one of the special skill in magic, and you multiply by 2. I have a blank, but anyway, I will have a magic video in the near future, so I will talk about it more in more details. So we have finished the sheet for Jen of the Green Hill. She's ready to play. So I will show you the final character sheet. So this is it. Usually it takes under 5 minutes to make a character. When when your concept is clear in your head, it's just choosing the right skill, and yeah, you're ready to play. Now I will show you some books, the other books from for Advanced Fighting Fantasy, the role-playing game, and what use you can have into the role-playing game. So the other books. Okay, I will show you so far what book are available by the making of this video, and what they can bring to your character, so what tips they have in it and all that. First book I will show you, the Sorcery Spellbook, the latest edition updated for the role-playing game, because this book was first published in the 80s with the solo game books, but now we have this book with the rules for making it into a role-playing game. What you have in it? Well, first of all, it's a great prop. If you have a sorcerer character in your group, it's a prop he can have, because it's some kind of a spell book with every spell he knows. But at the end of the book, there are some archetypes that are interesting. So you can we have the apprentice. I really love him because a sorcerer in Advanced Fighting Fantasy is a very powerful character. So the apprentice, I think he's more the same level of another type of beginning character. The Arc Sorcerer and Regional Sorcerer, with what they do with in relation with where they come from. So it's a good book to have if you want. Titan, there are no stats, no numbers in that. It's just the setting book. But in that you have many information and inspiration. You have the story of the deities and the story of the countries, if you want a right name for something, or know a tale about your deity if you're a priest or anything like that. Titan may be a good book to check on. Black Sand. Black Sand. In here you have some special skills surrounding firearms. There are black powder weapon in that. Some rules about being a sailor, because there are naval combat here, and they talk about boat and travel on the boat. And of course, the city of Black Sand. If you come from this city, well, it may be good to read this book, because you know the city. There are many places that describe of the city here. It's a very good book to check. Hero's Companion. Lots of new special skills, lots of new talents, and rules, many new magic schools here. Oh yeah, by the way, a magic school, Naval Sorcerer, and here I don't know how much, but there are in some other magic schools you can choose on. And you have mass combat rules in here. This book is very useful when we create character around my table. A Hero's Companion is very handy to have. Oh, a very good book. Beyond the Pit and Out of the Pit, the both monster manuals for Advanced Fighting Fantasy. in that you have many races that you can choose to play as a player character. Instead of having a human, an elf, or a dwarf, you can have any races that your game master will allow. And in the basic book, in the basic role-playing book of Advanced Fighting Fantasy, there's a chapter where they tell you how to make that possible, the formula to make it. And maybe you'd want to play, as an example, those guys, ape, dog, ape, these brutes that are guarding the entrance of Citadel of Chaos. Maybe you'd want to play a character like that. So there are no limits, in the race you can choose. Okay, so that was about the books. Now I will tell you some tips and house rules I have for character creation. So my tips and house rules. In Advanced Fighting Fantasy, there are ways to see that, and I will tell you how I run it when I run the table. For the character concept, well, for me it's very important, the character concept, because it will tell what the character really is. It's not the number that will tell me that, it's the background, the personality, and I will even in game I will use that if it can advantage or disadvantage a character to have it more real. So it's something that goes beyond skills and talents. It's something that the character is. So for me it's very important to have a good concept and a background. Not necessarily something complicated, but something that tells a story. When it comes to characteristics, well, usually the race is already chosen, so the bonus is already calculated. And to help the player out, figure out where to put his points, I simply tell him to put in order of importance what he thinks his character is. Is he a lucky one, a healthy one? And that way he can choose to have one of the characteristics higher than the other if he wants to. It's very practical to do that because it defines more your character. The special skills and the talents, well, you can create special skills. It's easy. You just create them. That's it. you add them to the list and put points in that. It's easy as that. Talents, well, you can choose talents. You have to compare with the existing talents to see if the balance is good. It's easy as that. Coming back to characteristic, yes, I know that I read that on forums that some peoples were more comfortable with attributes like strength, intelligence, and all that, instead of having only skill. And it's very easy to do in Advanced Fighting Fantasy, since it won't unbalance the game and how the game runs. It will simply work. So it's very easy to do. Personally, I prefer to keep it skill. I don't use social scale that is proposed here. And finally, the equipment list, well, I do freestyle it a lot. I don't really follow this one. I check out the character background and I give the objects he should have related to what he is. And I don't give the potion. Personally, I don't do that because potion is very powerful in that, and it just doesn't make sense sometimes to have that. Yes, in a game book you have a potion that it works well. It works well within the mechanic of a game book, but yeah, personally I don't give the potion anymore. And even more than that, because the stamina potion, for example, your character maybe has one stamina left, and he will drink the potion and he will get his full stamina in one sip. It's very powerful. So I have reduced the power of the stamina potion, but it's how I want it in the game. So, conclusion. In conclusion, Advanced Fighting Fantasy is a rules-like game, as you have probably guessed, and it's very easy to just let go, create a character you want. There's not much number crunching in that. and I think it's a good thing because you can create anything. You won't be restrained because you have a number to put there and there that defines your character. By numbers. If you only take numbers, two characters may look alike, but it's how you will play it that will make it interesting. The numbers is only a tool to bring that into the game. So it's easy as that. If you have questions, comments, suggestions, anything, feel free to leave them. And the next video will be about the rules. It should be a shorter video because this is a rules light system. But the next video will be on the rules. And after that, I will have a video only on combat. So I hope you've enjoyed it. And my name is François Letarte for JDR D30. And up to next time, I hope you have as much fun in your life